So today here in Oxford, it's been tremendous to bring together representatives of many different UK banks, as well as senior representatives from the regulators in financial services, to be able to talk about culture, character and leadership. And wonderful to experience the shared purpose, vision, mission that is there, even between companies that perhaps might not talk to each other so much, being competitors as they are. But there's really a shared purpose to see finance as a force for good in society.
We're all aware of what's perceived to be the failures of finance. What we want to do is see, what does finance look like when it's working well? And what does that look like for good leadership and for character within those leaders?
For the last decade or so, the financial sector has thought a lot about behaviour and about culture and about conduct. It has struggled to make probably as much change as it would like. And actually the word and the idea of character and all the research that's going on here, I think is the key to unlocking that, because it gets to the reality of the human condition, of who we are, and that is necessary if we're going to be able to influence that at the sort of scale the financial services sector wants to.
These challenges are incredibly complex and they require a multidisciplinary approach. And what the Oxford Character Project is doing is breaking down the silo that can sometimes develop between the business world and the academic world.
We are a very private company, so this is very exciting for me because what it demonstrates is a strength of belief that we are a good company, that no one said, oh no, we can't do that, we can't have them here. And we're like, oh, well, let's have a research agreement, shall we? Does anyone know what that is? We'd never had one before. This is brand new for my company. And seeing the data presented, listening to the responses from the other attendees here today, both those from academia and those from my own industry, has been fascinating.
So we were asking ourselves the question whether purpose is and should be more than just a narrative. And one of the charities in the room really made that point. And I think one of the great perspectives that was shared was then by the regulator at the really opposite end of the spectrum, saying where they've seen things go off the rails is in the absence of a strong sense of purpose that's not just a narrative, that's understood and lived and breathed. So I thought having both a charity, a bank and a regulator being able to have that conversation together today really stood out for me.
There is a real call right now for good leaders, and I feel the energy that we have here, that we've built up with these partners, where everyone is just so keen to engage in these conversations and figure out, how can we help? What's the part of the story that I can play? How can I help people develop good characteristics as leaders?
And to think about together how we might be able to advance a different kind of idea of what banking could be, to be involved in shaping, reshaping narratives that exist, such that people who work in financial services might flourish themselves through the work that they do, and organisations, wider societies, might flourish as well.